All right. Let's see here. Oh, we are live on Twitch. Things are happening. Things are moving. Yes, sir.
There'll be changes in the wind.
There'll be changes happening, Captain.
So says I. For all you pirates out there.
That's right. Welcome to Talking Heads, episode 50.
Whoa!
By the way, this is an anniversary show.
How did I not put that together?
Yeah. So, episode 50. We have been on for 50 episodes now. And you might notice a little bit of a set change. Things, yeah. Oh.
Wait a minute.
Well, I painted.
How did I get it here?
We were downstairs. Wait. Hold on. All right, so... I have a brand new studio, and I apologize. There's going to be a little bit of an echo tonight. I haven't done any sound treatment in this room yet. It's still pretty much an empty shell from like the desk forward. But I have almost 20 feet in front of me now, which is freaking amazing. This room is about 370 square feet.
It's going to be where the live studio audience goes.
That's right. Versus the 150 or so square feet that I worked in before. So quite a bit bigger room.
Yeah.
What are you thinking? What are you thinking about it so far?
I'm excited. We got this really high-tech, like flexible matte painting behind. Mm-hmm. It changes depending on the time of day.
Yeah. It's black right now. It's already turned off.
Earlier, it was a really beautiful sunset.
That's right. It looked like an oil painting behind us.
Truly.
But, during this time of year, the sun fades a little quicker.
Yep.
Out here. So I have one more thing that I didn't show you. I showed you the lights in the desk. I have one more thing I didn't show you.
But what? What?
Oh yeah, we got RGB behind me too.
Whoa! That's pretty slick.
So I've got some nice white studio lights up in this corner.
They're these change too?
These ones do not change. Those are just white.
Oh.
These are RGBWs, and so the W on them is a Cree 90 bulb. So it's very, very color accurate, and it's a white bulb that's by itself. And then they also have an RGB bulb built into them as well, and so I can change the color of that output. So if I want just a white studio light, I've got white studio.
Excellent.
If I want RGB behind me for a little bit of a...
That looks like craft computing after hours.
That's right. I think, that's all the way up. Okay, there we go. So
cool. I dig that. That's actually really slick.
So let me know in chat. What do you guys think of the new set? It's I'm digging it. I've been having a lot of fun. I shot one video here. It hasn't been posted yet, but I do have another one coming out Friday that will be in this new studio as well. So welcome to the show. I'm Jeff.
I'm Rhett.
Thanks for joining us, everyone. Rhett, so we're going to open a special bottle here to commemorate the opening of the new studio, which I think we came up with the name about 5 minutes beforehand.
That's right, we did.
I think we're going to call this room 9 Forward.
Excellent choice.
Now, the reason being is 10 Forward is obviously Guinan's Lounge in the Next Generation on the Enterprise D. 9 Forward was also a lounge on the Enterprise in the crew quarter section. That no one ever talks about, but there is a lounge on Deck 9, Section 1. And so what better name than 9 Forward?
Perfect.
So I think this is 9 Forward Studios.
Dig it.
All right, so I have a special bottle to open.
It's very apropos. Whatever that means.
This was announced on June 18th of this year, and it is an officially licensed product, and that is 10 Forward Vodka. I have been waiting for this to come in since I bought it. I bought it the day it was announced.
Is Guinan going to be okay with us having this down here?
I think she will be. This isn't her place. This is my place. And I'm on the deck above her.
Oh, true.
So...
I'm backwards.
That's right. So we're going to have some 10 Forward Vodka. And what better way to have vodka than in a Moscow Mule?
Perfect.
So, right as the train rolls by.
Yeah, hey, they want some 10 Forward Vodka.
That's right.
That's for sure.
So we got the right glassware. Here's some ice that I crushed earlier. And not a ton of it, but it'll serve the purpose.
You're breaking the illusion telling them you crushed it earlier.
I did. No, I've got an ice crusher. His name's Wesley.
That's what I was gonna say.
Beat you to the joke.
Dang it. we go.
And yeah, I don't have an ice crushing bag. I'm still working on that. It's like the one bar tool that I don't own. Usually I use plastic bags to crush ice, and people would have yelled at me on this show for that, so I used a washcloth instead.
And he did it off the air.
That's right. And I did it off the air, because otherwise it'd be headphone warning. All right. A lot of people, yes, like the new studio. No synthahol. That's right. No synthahol on Deck 9.
Yeah, we don't believe it.
Only the real stuff. So we're going to start with a lime.
Perfect. Woo! A little flourish.
That's right. Where did my knife go? There it is.
Shoot.
What'd you do?
I kicked the mic stand.
Don't do that.
My bad. Hey, getting so excited about this impending Moscow Mule.
That's right. There we go. Start with...
Oh, yeah.
I already smell that. And of course I didn't bring a bin to toss this in.
Yeah, what are we thinking? We're just like not on our A game today. Oh, thank you, sir. I'm just gonna have lime juice. Is that okay?
Oh, totally. A little fresh lime for us.
Oh, that smells so good. You guys really need to update your displays to include smells.
That's right.
If you haven't done it yet, we got the smell sensor over here.
I hear Smell-O-Vision is part of the new RTX package.
Was that right?
That's right. So, is there a seal on this? There's
2080 Ti.
They didn't perforate this.
Get the smell package. Don't cut your face off, please.
Yeah, I'm working on it. This is, I wanted it to be proof that I didn't open this beforehand. So there's the plastic seal on the bottle.
Well, the vodka is so clear and beautiful, it's hard to tell.
That's right.
That there's even anything in
It's
there.
actually all water. I resealed it myself.
Why do you think we can get away drinking so much on the show?
Pretty non-offensive, very smooth.
That smells great.
Yeah.
For vodka.
That really does.
Which usually, like most vodkas that I buy, smell like a freaking pharmacy.
Yeah.
Or like a dentist's office or something.
All right. So we got our vodka in there.
My mouth is watering.
There we
Oh.
And of course, the good stuff, ginger beer.
Perfect.
Yes, sir.
Oh, it's twist off.
Oh,
Should I not have said that? Should I just let you have your moment?
I was trying to flourish it up a little bit. There we go.
Are you gonna get the whole bottle in there?
Just barely. It's close. Oh, look at that. Boom.
I must have got more lime juice.
You
Or
got
more
the whole
vodka.
bottle. You got the whole bottle in there. All right, and wait.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I was
Jeez,
rushing it here.
You were. Sprig of mint for you.
Thank you, sir.
And
oh, that's so beautiful. Do you mind if I take a picture of this?
absolutely.
I'm gonna post it on the Discord.
A little sprig of mint.
Looks
All right.
really great with this professional lighting.
I got to garnish the lime too. Oh, jeez. You are rushing everything.
I'm
man.
just so excited.
Proper cocktails actually take work, believe it or not.
I told you where my cocktail training came from. Okay, that scene in Kill Bill 2 where he slops the margarita everywhere.
That's right.
And he used the most disgusting, premix ever.
Of course, I kind of butchered the lime wheel. Oh well.
It's all right. I'll forgive you this time.
Now that is a Moscow Mule.
Don't mind me, folks. Just
That's
taking
right.
a picture on live television.
Got to get that Instagram.
This is riveting TV, I'm sure.
That's right. And somewhere around here, I put down the straws. Do you remember where those went?
Oh, right there. Right in front of you.
Do you see?
Yeah, right by your phone. Your hand. In front of the
right
mouse.
They were literally right in front of me. There we go. And that, folks, is a Moscow Mule.
This is amazing.
Cheers, buddy.
Cheers. Cheers to you all. Thanks for joining us. Careful.
Oh, yeah.
Dang, that is refreshing.
Ooh. Oh, yeah. That is good.
Great cocktail. You don't mind if I just shove my garnishes to the very bottom, do you?
You do you, sir.
I'm not sure if there's different rules for like drinking a cocktail live, you know?
Yep. Hard shadows coming from the right. We're still working on some of the lighting in here. It's not totally refined. When Rhett leans forward, or hold on, the right? My right or your right?
I think it's me, because look,
Yeah.
I lean forward.
When he leans, there's a mic stand right there. And so I'm still working on balancing out that shadow with cross light. So, Yep.
We're figuring it out.
That's right. Prefer Tennessee mule. Yeah, there's Kentucky mules. There's all kinds of mules. I like a good Moscow mule.
One of my favorite... Oh, Moscow mule is so good. One of my other favorite mules is the mezcal mule, where you make it with mezcal instead of vodka. It's so good.
Yes. Oh, that is good.
I think you outdid yourself.
I think so too. Like, I'm not a bad bartender. I do know what I'm doing most of the time, but that is delicious.
I guess we're gonna have to outbrand into a bar business.
That's right.
9 Forwards, country franchise.
Actually, that's one of my business plans later on down the road. Is if I do open a studio, how do I keep the studio going, or how do I finance it?
Yeah.
Let's open a bar.
Just like the Salem House of Prayer.
Let's
They got
open
their little cafe.
I'll open a brewery and distillery all in one, and do a bar and a tasting room and craft studios.
It's happening.
That's part of my business plan, actually.
It's all here. It all starts right here in the inaugural taping in 9 Forward.
That's right. Welcome to the show, everyone. Now that we are properly fueled. The other thing I'm going to mention on being properly fueled is I now have a P.O. box. A lot of you have been asking me about that literally since I opened my channel up, and I've been promising it since like day 3 of having my channel online. There is a P.O. box. Down in the video description of every single Talking Heads, there's going to be a mailbox number that you can send me things if you want. And it can be whatever you want. I would appreciate gifts of like liquor from around the country, beer from around the country, that kind of thing. Things that I can't get locally.
Absolutely.
We love trying new things around here. So if you've been wanting to send me something, I know a lot of you have been asking for that. Address is down in the video description. So, and thank you so much in advance. All right, let's get into some beer news here. So, there we go. Oktoberfest is starting over in Germany this month.
Absolutely.
And Lufthansa Air is doing what I think is a phenomenal promotion for it.
It really is.
So Lufthansa Air is, go and scroll down a little bit because I can't quite see the headline.
I thought I hit it, but I guess not.
Is it not scrolling? It's not scrolling. Hold on.
Oh no.
My input card is dead. Wait a second. Technical difficulties. Lufthansa Air has a promotion going on right now where they are bringing on kegs onto flights and giving every of-age person a free pint of beer, of genuine Oktoberfest beer.
Doesn't get much better than that.
Doesn't get any better than that. Also, Terminal 2, where they'll be landing in Munich, they are also bringing in, 8,800 pounds of Leberkäse, 38,000 pretzels, and about 1,600 pounds of white sausage. That's to be served across 12 lounges in Terminal 2, where you can also find the licensed Oktoberfest beers on tap. Lufthansa employees will also be dressing in traditional costumes.
The dirndls, the lederhosen.
The dirndls and the lederhosen, as appropriate, I would say. So, yeah, if you want to fly to Germany, get some free German beer on Lufthansa Air on the way over, and land and literally get the party started in the terminal.
Right.
That's the way to go.
You only got a little bit, though, because I'm pretty sure Oktoberfest ends October 7th. So book your flights now. Get your butt over to Munich. Have a great time.
That's right. Boris Morris, $1.99. Blow something up.
Oh.
What do you want me to blow up? I don't have anything to blow up.
We got some beach balls around here.
I'm not Mythbusters as much as I would like to be.
Have we got any balloons?
I don't have any balloons.
Well, you can go get that doll.
Ever have Algo de Bolivia? I have not. Lights are so different in the new office. It's a bit darker, but looks good. The way I'm designing the light is so I stand out more from the background. This table is also quite a bit further forward from where my last table sat.
Yeah.
And so there's a little bit more diffusion from the background, a little bit more depth of field to it. And yeah, it is a little bit darker in general. I went with less overhead lights and more directional lights. So it may work, it may not, and I'll play with it as it goes.
Absolutely.
So, but this is, trial number 1. So, let's see. I like a drug mule.
Thanks, John.
From John. Bolivian mule is my favorite mule.
Rhett Kavanaugh touched me. Good one, Steve. Good one. God. I was like, hey, wait a minute. That joke doesn't work. Oh, it's the name thing. Okay.
That's right.
It's the name thing.
That's right. Blow up that Millennium Falcon in the background. How dare you, Reverend? How dare you?
Come on now.
That is a beautiful piece of Lego engineering.
Took him all afternoon.
It did, actually.
He neglected his kids on Christmas morning just to get that bad boy done.
That's actually exactly what I built it Christmas morning. So every year my wife buys me a Lego set, and it's usually like the $70 to $100 Lego set because I just enjoy them. It's just fun.
Who doesn't?
And
blast.
And that's one that stayed together. That's been together ever since. I also have the droid tank from episode 1.
Oh,
I have one of those, so that one's still together. That's above my desk at work.
I love those.
So.
Yeah, I had the droid carrier. So you open it up, and then out came the racks carrying the droids.
Oh yeah.
Oh, so legit.
Nice. Acoustic test. Yeah, acoustics are in dire need of some work. I literally got the painting done about an hour before the guys showed up to help me move the office. We got the desk screwed in. We got everything moved upstairs. I started setting up. I was still setting up stuff like Sunday at midnight, 1 a.m, Monday morning, something like that. Getting everything up here so I was ready to shoot a video Monday morning. So yeah, I've had no time to do anything acoustic-wise in here. I kind of wanted to hear it for a week to know where I needed to make my changes at.
Smart.
And then attack it, rather than just going, I'm going to buy like 50 blankets and a whole bunch of foam padding and just stick it wherever. I want to be smart about how I do it. So there's going to be an echo for the next couple of weeks, but it's something I'm working on. Pretzels, what type? Large or soft and large, small and hard? I'm assuming the large soft pretzels, if they said 1,600 pretzels. Or no, they said 38,000 pretzels. I don't know then. I'm assuming, number one, I could probably eat 38,000 pretzels, so I'm assuming they're the large soft ones.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully. They just got like a little bag of what's it, rolled gold or whatever. Mm. They're like 38,000 pretzels and a whole bunch of air.
Oh,
welcome
that's
to
good.
I know. This is delightful. You're not even enjoying the flavor your garnish adds.
Well, I spanked the mint, so it's hitting the nose. So, that was the point of that.
What do you want from me?
And I squeezed a whole half lime into here. There's plenty of lime in this.
I don't discriminate, I guess.
That's right. Fine, I'll drop the mint in there. We'll mint it up a little bit. But I was enjoying the nose that the mint was giving it.
Fine, I'll pull mine out. Okay.
Well, now it's all wet. It's not going to work. All right, moving right along.
I'm enjoying the taste of the mint, okay?
Absolutely. Let me try...
Yeah, please. Do it. Do whatever you need to do.
Troubleshooting method here. Let me see if that worked. Nope, we're still frozen.
It's the worst.
I got one more thing I can do. One sec.
So, anybody been playing the new Spider-Man game? Huh? Pretty good game. I bought it. I talked a lot about it at PAX, and I wasn't going to buy it, but then I heard Steve's voice in the back of my head just being like, you should buy it. So I did.
Thinking about it. Hold on. Nope, I don't think we're going to get it. Shoot. Okay. Well, you're just going to have to imagine the graphics that I'm putting on the screen then.
I'll describe it to you.
That's
I can
right.
give them a play-by-play.
That's right, there you go.
So here we are. Next one, we're on the Modders Inc. page.
Nope, you're one too far.
Oh my god, this is happening. Oh, sorry, you jumped it forward when you...
So in Oregon, there's only a couple of places around the country that still do deposits. There's a deposit in Connecticut, Hawaii, Iowa, Massachusetts, Maine, New York, Oregon, Vermont, and Michigan. This is actually a bottle that qualifies for the story we're talking about. That's funny.
Nice.
So in all of those states except Michigan, there's been a 5-cent deposit for a long, long time. Like since I was A wee little lad. And Oregon this last year raised that to a 10-cent deposit. They had, I believe it was 9 or 10 months to switch over. It was 10 months. It was through September 30th. To switch over their deposits over from 5 cents to 10 cents. And you can no longer sell bottles in the state of Oregon that have a 5-cent deposit on them after September 30th. Perfect. And in fact, the ginger beer that I just bought has an Oregon 5-cent deposit on it. So that would actually no longer be a legit sale here in 2 weeks. So Perfect. Just a fun little tidbit.
Yeah, it's fun. Personally, I'm of the mind, I think jack the deposit straight up to 25 cents.
That's right.
Start getting people actually recycling.
Whoa, stream down. What happened to my YouTube stream?
Oh, no.
What the heck? My Twitch stream is still up.
YouTube,
what the crap? I don't know what's happening to my YouTube stream.
JFC, all is well.
Is everyone seeing me?
It is up.
It is up? Okay.
Oh,
for some reason, my YouTube stream is like sitting there spooling. I'm going to just refresh the page.
Refresh that, yeah.
Oh. There we go. Interesting. That was weird. That was very weird.
A little delayed on there, but...
Yeah. Like, my YouTube stream just, stopped responding on my screen.
Good. Glad you guys are here. Thanks for, letting us know.
Well, cool. That was 30 seconds of me staring at my screen then.
Yeah, no problem. Well, I was going to respond to Chris and tell him that the subscription-based online service for PlayStation 4 is not necessary to play Spider-Man.
That's right.
And also, the benefit is, I don't know how the Xbox system is. I used to gripe about it. But the advantage with the PlayStation is now you get, a ton of free games every month.
Mm-hmm.
And it costs, $50 a year or something. I don't know.
Yeah. If you buy it all at once, it's $50 a year. Otherwise, I think it's $10 a month.
Yeah, it's actually 13 or something. It's kind of high.
Yeah.
So they really encourage you to buy it all at once. But I don't know. You can't go wrong. You get a bunch of free games. I got Metal Gear Solid 5 for free on there.
Nice.
And that game has been, I'm 80 hours deep still. Just having a good time. The online mode for that game is alive and well. It's fun. Anyway.
Died when I unplugged the capture card and came back when the Oregon deposit conversation came up. Okay.
Well,
that's interesting.
We're doing it.
Yeah. Awesome.
Letting the English see us do it, that's for sure.
All right. So now we're on the Modders Inc. page, which is still down. Yep, okay.
Oh, bummer. I tried. I did everything I could, Jeff.
You
the
did.
viewers saw me.
You did. You gave it the old college try.
Worked my butt off on Saturday, now I'm here.
So, RTX reviews are out today.
Yes, they are.
And I kind of wanted to go through what the numbers that I saw were, and the general consensus of a number of different reviewers that I read, watched, etc. Now, full disclaimer, I have not had any hands-on time with an RTX card, except for the time that we were at PAX, and we got to see RTX in real time,
RTX
not
on,
necessarily restoration performance in real time. So all of the tests performed today and demoed today are going to be rasterization. They're just using the straight-up CUDA. They're not using any of the new RTX technologies, none of the tensor cores, none of the DLSS, because NVIDIA hasn't released any of that for public use. And Linus actually made a point on his video that he had arranged for a developer to come up, bring an RTX card, and demo RTX on, RTX off, and DLSS at 4K. And they were blocked, and he suspects it was from NVIDIA.
Oh.
Because they're not ready to show off the technology yet.
Oh, come on.
Which is crap. It's absolute crap.
Doesn't it go on sale, tomorrow?
Tomorrow. You can, the cards are supposed to be arriving tomorrow. And in fact, on Reddit, some of them were getting them today. So, for them going, no, you can't show the tech. You've released the cards. The cards are out there. They're in reviewers' hands. Stop trying to control the flow of information, because all you're doing is pissing people off.
Well, it just looks bad.
Oh, it's a terrible look. You could release the 2080 and 2080 Ti and say we've gone from a 16 nanometer down to a 12 nanometer, and we've increased the CUDA core count, and we've gone from GDDR5X to GDDR6, and it's going to perform 20 to 30% better than the previous generation cards, and everyone would be happy. Seriously, end of discussion.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you could say, oh, and we also threw some new tech in there, and that'll be released later out throughout this year as developers have more hands-on time with it. It really is going to change the future of gaming. And everyone would be fine with that.
Yep.
The problem was we got a 2-hour presentation of what ray tracing is. And then no performance numbers back that up. And it wasn't even like no performance numbers. It was no confirmation and no denial. It was, we have no comment on what performance is with RTX, which opens it up to speculation.
Yeah.
So the performance numbers are out for rasterization now. And I'll say they're good. The numbers themselves are good. But I will say I nailed it. I freaking nailed it. Do you remember last time you were on, we talked about what I thought RTX was going to be?
Yeah.
What level of performance I thought it was going to be at.
Yeah.
I predicted a 22% increase from the 2080 from the 1080 to the 2080, and a 25 to 30% increase from the 1080 Ti to the 2080 Ti. And that is exactly what we see. Like, every single reviewer is within that margin of error. We're seeing between 14 and 25% on the 2080, and we're seeing between 20 and 30% on the 2080 Ti. So I will say I do know what I'm talking about. Right. Or at least it was a really good guess. I'll give myself a really good guess. So the reviews are out. The performance is good. And like I said, the 2080 Ti blows everything else out of the water. Where people are getting hung up is that the 2080 is only trading blows with the 1080 Ti. And it's $150 more. And that's where I think I have a major problem.
Yeah.
If you wanted to call the 2080 Ti the Turing X, the Titan X, or Titan T, or whatever the hell you want to call it, that's fine. It's a $1,300 card. You've always had a consumer level gaming card that's in that price range. Don't shift your naming scheme. What the problem I have with the 2080 is that the 2080 is sitting there at $800, and it's only as good as the $700 card that came before it, and it has technology that we don't have access to right now, and we may never see in full scale. Now, the technology needs to be out there if that's the direction they think they need to go.
Yeah.
They do need to invest in ray tracing. They do need to get it into consumer hands. They do need to get it into developers' hands and let the software mature. And I know I'm jumping the gun when I say the software is not matured. What the crap, NVIDIA? Yeah. I know I am getting way out in front of this and going, why aren't your games ready yet? You promised us 25 games. Where's my RTX?
Yeah.
I fully understand that. My problem is, again, that at $800, it performs worse at every single game you're going to play today than the $700 card that came before it.
Yeah.
And there's no getting around that. There's no getting around that fact. And a lot of reviewers have been very, very keen to that. Jay's 2 cents gave it a big fat don't recommend. That was his exact words.
Yeah.
Linus says, you're paying an early adopter tax, and I wouldn't buy this card. It doesn't make sense. I believe Hardware in Box was a very similar sentiment. He goes, it performs better than I thought it would, but it still doesn't make the price performance metrics that I thought it needed to. And if you look at it from a raw performance standpoint and where I would spend my money, I'd buy a Pascal card today. And I think that was kind of strategic by NVIDIA. I think they priced these higher than the previous generation cards because, if you remember a story that we launched about 6 weeks ago, there are a whole bunch of unused Pascal cores floating around there.
Oh, God.
So you see where this is going.
Yeah.
I think NVIDIA outpriced their own market. Because AMD doesn't have anything in the pipeline right now. They're not going to release anything for another 6 months on the consumer side of things. NVIDIA has almost 1 million GPUs left unsold from add-in board partners that they need to sell. Well, tell you what, we'll come up with RTX cards and we'll sell them for $800, and they'll perform the same as the $700 card. So you can mark that $700 card down to $600 and liquidate that. And then as soon as those are gone, probably end of the holiday season, we're going to drop that RTX 2080 down to $600.
Yeah.
That's what I think is going to happen. I think this generation of cards, the 2000 series, number one, is going to be a short lifespan. I don't think it's going to last more than 12 months.
That's everything I'm reading. It seems that way. Mm-hmm. Doesn't make sense.
Right. And I think that come January 20th, February 10th, somewhere in that 20-day span, there's going to be a price drop after the holiday season to reinvigorate the market right before or right after CES, right after a couple other things that happened during that time. There's going to be a price drop from $800 down to $600 MSRP. And the 2070 is going to be from $500 or $600 for the Founders Edition down to maybe $450 for the Founders Edition, which puts it kind of right in line with the launch prices of the 1070 and the 1080. And then I think that 2080 Ti is probably going to drop to about the $900 price point. I don't think it's going to go all the way down to the $700 that the 1080 Ti is, but it's going to go down. Let's see. What's up? You guys don't sleep? LOL. No? Never have. Don't plan on it. Let's see. Sticking with my 980 Ti for a while. Wise choice. Black Friday. Prices drop on an RTX 2080. I might be tempted, but really curious on the 2070 numbers. And that's kind of where I'm at as well. And that's what I said a month ago, was I think the 2070 is going to be the card this generation to get if you need to get a card right now and you want to buy brand new. That being said, I'm really leery of the RTX performance in that card, the ray tracing performance, because the performance that we saw personally on a 2080 Ti running ray tracing on Metro Exodus, which, by the way, NVIDIA didn't tell me that I couldn't say the name of the game, but they felt the need to tell Luke up at Linus Tech that he couldn't say the name of what game they were playing.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, he went to the same exact demo, sat in the same room that we did.
Yeah.
And NVIDIA told him he couldn't tell the name of the game to the press.
Why?
I don't know. Again, another, you're telling one community one thing and another community another, and you're trying to control the flow of information. You had everyone from press to gamers to consumers to everyone walking through that room wanted to see the new technology, and they're controlling who gets what information. And so we walked in the room with full camera gear and press passes, and they said, you can't film in here. So I said, okay, and I set the camera down, and we went and did the demo. And I asked a couple questions about, you know, hey, can you clarify on this or do and whatnot? And they kind of answered. They were very vague in their answers, but they did answer some questions. And that was it. And then we sat down and we played Metro Exodus, and we had the RTX on-off with the F1 button. Mm-hmm. I played the same exact demo and talked to the same guy that Luke did. And they told Luke he couldn't say the name of the game. So what the crap, NVIDIA?
That whole thing bothered me anyway, and I talked about it with you guys coming down, but it's like the presentation felt super sloppy and like... You know, I don't know. You guys mentioned it with Steve like right after PAX, but I wasn't that impressed overall. And even now, like going through and like looking at all of the reviews that have kind of been coming down, the numbers that have been coming down today, I'm still kind of unimpressed.
Yeah.
But again, like you said, there could be some huge marketing scheme behind it, and
I think it's a marketing scheme to make their investors happy to sell off the existing 1 million cards that they have in backstock. I think that's what this is.
Could be. And that makes sense. I don't know. To me, they're losing major PR points with all this weird stuff.
But the thing is, until AMD has a legit competitor in the marketplace for the same price point, because remember, the Vega 56 and 64 did compete blow for blow with a 1070 and 1080.
Yeah.
Now, they're not going to compete at the 1080 Ti level, and they didn't compete with power consumption. But there were some tests even today that some reviewers went back over that the Vega 64 is beating the 1080.
Yeah.
It was trading blows left and right with that 1080.
Yeah.
The problem is that the miners came in and they bought all of the Vega 64s, and there were none left for the consumers, and the ones that were left for the consumers were $800, and that's 1080 Ti money.
Yeah.
Whereas the Vega 64 was supposed to be $499. That's where it was supposed to be. And if that card had been there and available for that price point, we might have more competition in the market today.
Yeah.
But we don't. So 85% of the gaming market is still NVIDIA.
Yeah.
So until someone comes up and challenges them, they can do whatever the hell they want to PR, just like Microsoft can.
Yeah.
Just like Intel can. Or Intel could.
Yeah.
You know, a year ago, Intel could do whatever they want, and now everyone's reading right through their bowl.
Yeah. Yeah.
Zach, $1, no comment. I'll take it.
Cheers to you, Zach. Welcome to 9 Forward.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I like that name. It's sticking. I like it.
If you'd like our bar bot over here to brew you something, well, you can type your request into the channel here and then make it yourself.
That's right.
That's how we roll.
That's right. The replicator is down right now, and you don't want to replicate a cocktail. You want a bartender to make that.
Absolutely.
So,
yeah.
what's everyone on chat drinking? Chris, that is an excellent question. What is everyone on chat drinking? Drinking a Pikes Peak Elephant Rock IPA. I have never had that one. It's all right. I was expecting a more developed citrus flavor. Sweet berry wine. Conspiracy theories. Drinking a Fairhope Judge Roy Bean Coffee Stout. Gibson's Finest. Intel is releasing something in 2020, I remember.
Hey!
Yeah, Intel is releasing a GPU supposedly in 2020, but again, we'll see if it's competitive because they've tried with Xeon Phi and a couple other projects before, and none of them have ever made it to market. And I'm not so sure that they're going to make it to market this time either. Now, they're more ambitious than they have been before, which is kind of promising. Yeah. But whatever they release is going to be a first generation of whatever the heck it is. So unless they knock it out of the park like Ryzen did, and even if they do knock it out of the park like Ryzen did, Generation 1 is a show me what you got. Generation 2 is, okay, I'm willing to invest money.
Yeah.
And that goes with all levels of computer hardware. Generation 1 of SSDs, people went, oh, that's really cool, but it's only 32 gigs. What the hell do I do with this? Yeah. Generation 2 came out and they go, oh, I've got 250 gigs on the high-end drives? Okay, I can load an OS and I can throw everything I want on here. So it was there's always going to be that transition from you have to show us what the technology is and what the future holds. And you need the market share to build that up. And then when you release your second generation and you've refined your processes and you fixed all your bugs, because there's going to be bugs, and now people are willing to buy.
Yeah. When you looked at any of the RTX specs and everything, did you look at like the, everything with like the VRS, the variable rate shading and all that? Like, and here's the thing, I guess they're reporting pretty significant frame rate increases, but when I was looking at the side-by-side pictures, I literally couldn't tell a difference.
Well, in the YouTube videos, the side-by-side is going to be capped at 60. And so if you're trying to compare an 84 to a 65, you're only going to see 60 between the two. So you're not going to see a difference on the film. But what we do know is that pretty much 1080p and 1440p are CPU limited with an 8700K at 5 gigahertz now. That's what we know now with these cards. So these are beastly cards. That does bring 4K gaming 60 FPS at any setting that you want to the mainstream at 60 FPS plus. In fact, there were a couple games that scored over 100. Battlefield 1, I believe, averaged like 105 FPS. 4K Ultra for a couple different reviewers. So yeah. Sorry, I want to read a couple more of these.
No, go ahead.
Hop House 13. Mount Gay Rum. Black Barrel Aged. Ooh, that sounds good. Drinking NVIDIA's Tears. There you go. Tap Water Crunchy version. I have some cheap vodka. Buckets of coffee. It's 4:40 a.m. Wow. Well, thank you for joining us in, I'm assuming, the UK at 4:40 in the morning. Where are you at? UK, Ireland, somewhere like that?
That would be 8 hours ahead.
Yep, it'd be 8 hours ahead, so... Thank you for joining us, Hammerstein.
Welcome aboard.
I don't think you're Germany. Germany's 10 hours ahead. But Hammerstein tells me Germany. Maybe you are. I don't know. But thank you for joining us.
Hammerstein?
Yeah.
Could be Jewish.
Widmer Drop Top Amber.
Hey, Drop Top's pretty good.
Yep.
I was trashing on Widmer pretty hard last weekend.
Were you?
Yeah, well, because they have... God, what was the one beer that... Oh, they had the Deutschland IPA on tap at the Mount Angel Oktoberfest, and I did not. I wasn't impressed.
Yeah.
I'm not impressed with their Hefeweizen, which is like their flagship. Their Octo is pretty good, which is like their Oktoberfest beer. It's okay. But their Drop Top Amber is actually like my favorite. But yeah, I was talking a little bit of trash with them because it was like all of these German beers, and then there was the Widmer Deutschland IPA, and then like 10 barrels.
They bring like a cider or something, or what did they bring?
Well, they had their Radler on, the Swill.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Which was actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Radler and pub beer. The pub beer was a good choice, honestly, because there's not enough like basic options for people to choose. So this year around, at least they had the 10 barrels pub beer, and then they had the Spaten Lager, which was very solid, obviously.
Yeah. So yeah, RTX, I'm torn.
Yeah.
And I said that when it was announced. I said that when performance specs were kind of released in the form of CUDA cores and clock speeds.
Yep.
And I'm saying that now after I've seen reviews. I'm torn. There is a certain essence of you're going to pay an early adopter fee if you want these cards. You're going to.
Yeah. Unless you win one, like I'm going to.
Right. But at the end of the day, some gamers don't want to pay an early adopter fee. They just want to get the best card that's available. And the best card that's available for your money right now is a 1080 Ti. And that remains the case going forward. And actually, I'd say a 1070 Ti is a kick-ass little card too. If not a 1080, especially on the used market. There have been 1080s on the used market I've seen sell for less than $300. That's insane.
Get your hands dirty.
That's insane. So when NVIDIA's sitting there asking $800, or rather $800 doesn't exist, $850 to $950 for cards because they don't know what the hell MSRP is supposed to mean, then yeah, they're not worth getting. I'd hold because I think there's going to be price drops. I really do think there's going to be price drops. I think this is a scheme by NVIDIA to sell off all their Pascal cards that are unused. They're going to fire sell those, but still sell them at a pretty significant markup still. So your 1070 might all of a sudden sell for $350 online, and your 1060s might go for $200 a piece. Something like that, where they can sell them close to retail cost and recoup the majority of their money and still make a pretty hefty profit. But at the end of the day, I don't think these cards are worth it.
No, and it's going to be a while till the software is there, and I don't know. Again,
but by this time the software is there, is NVIDIA going to come out with their next series of cards that is even more refined, that actually does RTX in real time?
Absolutely. And that's the thing, like, that they would almost score better points in my book for if they just admit it's like, they're like, this is like test gen, basically.
Because I will, again, I'm not a fan of the PC Master Race theory that it's 60 FPS or get the hell out. Yeah. I don't like that theory because a lot of gamers don't have that. There's more and more powerful cards out there. If you build a brand new computer with at least a 1050, you're going to play at 60 FPS. Sure. You just are. Even the 1030 can play at 60 FPS sometimes. But if you've got an old junker computer that's 10 years old that hasn't seen an update since 2010, you're going to play a lot of games at 30 FPS. And quite honestly, 30 FPS is still playable. You're not going to be winning competitive matches, but neither is anyone else. Don't worry about it. So this whole notion that it's 60 FPS or get out, I don't like. And it's gatekeeping to the greater PC community. Quite honestly, if I have drops down into the 42 range, I'm perfectly happy still. I really am, as long as I'm playing the game. Now, there's a couple games that, like, if I'm playing Counter-Strike, yeah, I want 120 FPS because I need to shoot that guy with a pistol, and that's important to me. If I'm playing GTA 5, as long as the game looks good and is consistent in frame rates, I'm totally cool. So sue me.
I only need 25 to frag you guys, so...
Right, but the definition of playable is very wide. But when NVIDIA comes out and says they're doing real-time ray tracing at playable frame rates and they're averaging 45 in Metro Exodus, which is what they were averaging during the demo that they gave us on X299 systems with 7900X processors, which I found out later because their reference kit for testing is a 7900X i7 or i9, excuse me, 8 core at 4 gigahertz with 32 gigs of RAM. at 3200, I believe.
Yeah.
So these are not lightweight systems.
No.
And when your system is only pulling 45 FPS at 1080p with RTX enabled, that's a problem. When your $1,300 graphics card doesn't reach playable by common standards, that's a problem.
Yeah. I don't know. And again, it's like we're playing that demo, and the only thing is RTX lighting, which was barely passable as impressive. Like, it doesn't bring anything new to the table. Like, I don't know. I could just rag on it all day. But
and again, it's not for everyone. Not everyone cares about the lighting.
Now,
to me, I was very impressed with the tech. It was a great tech demo. It really was.
Sure.
But it was also skewed in the favor of RTX looking freaking amazing because the gamma was way out of whack in the non-RTX version.
Yep.
And Luke for Linus Tech also alluded to this on the WAN show last Friday. He said, we sat down in this room and we played a game. I can't tell you which game, even though they told me I could say which game. And you turned it off and it just looked washed out and nasty looking. And whether that was the developers not having enough time to build their rasterization and global illumination lighting, or whether it was just NVIDIA skewing the results in their favor, I don't know, but it looked terrible.
Yeah.
So yeah, RTX did look better, and RTX looked good. Every single object reacted to the shadows that were cast by that.
The shadows
light
did
source.
look really good.
So
the shadows looked pretty great.
Yeah, but again, we didn't get to see any reflective surfaces in that game. I was looking for a bottle or water surface or anything else, and nothing was working.
Supposedly, I was reading about some reviews today about where supposedly there's some games with explosions where you can see. Mm-hmm. This explosion's happening behind you. You can see the explosion in your enemy's eyes.
That was Battlefield 5. That was their big RTX demo in Germany. It was one of the 5 games that was shown off. They showed off Shadow of the Tomb Raider and Metro Exodus and Battlefield.
Go figure. Okay.
And in the eye of one of the characters, you could see the explosion of the car happening in their eye reflection, and the flamethrower happening over here in the reflection of the buildings on their right hand side.
Yeah.
And while it's a cool tech demo, if it only runs at 30 FPS, it's just a cool tech demo. So,
yep.
Yeah, I have some real reservations about RTX performance going forward and how it's going to scale and what are the settings for it and how good it's actually going to be.
Yeah.
So
now we're asking the real questions, how it's going to handle Crysis.
Boy, I would love to see someone mod RTX illumination into Crysis.
That'd be great. That'd be great.
One of the best looking games of all time. It still holds up.
Yeah.
And it's still good. Now, it's totally unoptimized because even modern cards struggle to get over 70 FPS with it. But yeah, it's still a good looking game.
Just a test for their Far Cry 2 game.
Yeah.
I mean, it is the Far Cry engine, but...
Yep.
They're like, hey, we could make this game to show off Far Cry 2, and then they made it into a whole game.
Yep, that's exactly what it was. So anyway, let me know what you guys think. Drop me a comment in the video because I'd like to read these later on, and I don't always go back through and read chat. Sometimes I do if I'm really bored, but that doesn't happen often. But drop me a comment in the video and let me know what your guys' impression. Now that you've seen benchmark numbers for RTX, what do you guys think about it? Are you still planning on buying it? Are you interested in the tech, or is this just some flashy cash grab by NVIDIA?
Flashy cash grab.
Flashy crash grab.
Crash grab. Crash flash wash.
Those are really good Moscow Mule.
Yeah, aren't they though? They're so good that they make the words come out of your mouth
that is
different.
Dynamite.
Diamondite. Yeah, we'll see. I am excited about the prospects.
You know what I'm trying to say, dang it.
You know me. Of course I know what you're trying to say. You didn't even have to say it, and I knew what you were going to say.
So Rhett and I had a conversation because I wanted to open this vodka on the show. And I said, hey, Rhett, what's your favorite vodka drink? And so we went with like 3 because there's only like 3 good vodka drinks. And
other than straight vodka on the rocks.
Right. Yeah. How do you like your vodka? I like vodka with vodka-flavored vodka. I think that was Steve's recommendation.
That was, yeah.
But he goes, how about a Moscow Mule? And I said, oh, it's been a long time since I've had one of those. And I went, I don't have any cups. Because I can't come out and make a Moscow Mule in a rocks glass.
Or something, yeah.
I can't do that. And so I actually got online and I bought some brand new hammered copper mugs. I got them with the copper straws even.
Yep.
And I got online and I told Rhett, hey, I bought some cups. And he goes, oh, cool. Now, are they all copper or are they the aluminum lined ones? Because I guess it makes a difference to the flavor. And I went, who the hell do you think you're talking to?
As soon as I got the answer, I was like, yeah, I don't know why I bothered. Well, the thing is, like, I guess I knew that you bought them online, but when you go shopping for them, the pure copper ones are harder to find. Mm-hmm. Supposedly, the taste that you're getting out of this is just a little bit of toxicity. Yeah. A little bit of like, you could die if you keep doing this forever.
I'm sure
Which
you
is
could.
like, probably makes the drink a little better in and of itself.
Right, but no, these are 100% copper mugs with copper straws.
Yeah, they conduct heat very well. Mm-hmm. We could melt these down later and make some heat sinks out of them.
Totally could. I also got a copper jigger and a copper stirring spoon, which is kind of cool.
And some copper
all of these
straws.
are 100% copper. That's right. I said copper straws.
You did.
I totally did.
You did.
I totally did. So, yeah. But these were a great deal. If you want to know where to get these, I'll drop a link for the Amazon link. These were, I think, $20 for the set.
Nice.
It was a steal.
Really good.
A steal for actual copper mugs.
We're using regular ginger beer because diet ginger beer isn't real.
Right. Yeah, this is the Reed's Stronger Ginger Beer. And really delicious.
I love it. The more ginger, the better.
That's right.
I know somebody makes Moscow Mules out of ginger concentrate.
Wow.
It's good though. It's good.
Wow.
Yeah. I love ginger. So
yeah. CryEngine is dead. Crytek is basically dead. They're mostly dead. There's some debate about who owns the Crytek engine now because technically, Star Citizen bought rights to use the Crytek engine in any game that they're developing now in any future game, so they may have rights over the Crytek engine, the Chris Roberts Corporation, but that may be debatable. And in fact, I believe Crytek was suing them over the Crytek engine rights as kind of a last gasp for air, but I don't know where that went. So, but that's the last I've heard on the Crytek engine. All right, so yeah, let me know down in the comments what you guys think of RTX. Let's get on to one thing that I was really excited about and then had my hopes just dashed entirely.
Yup. Another disappointing news story.
So again, NVIDIA, they came out and they showed that the cards have an NVLink, and they said these cards are going to be NVLink compatible. And I went, oh my god, that's freaking amazing for gaming, because the biggest hurdle of multi-GPU systems has been SLI profiles or crossfire compatibility. Because what it's done in the past is if you wanted to enable SLI in a game, it puts all the onus on the developer of the game to code in a profile for multi-GPU rendering to work. Now, for those who don't know how multi-GPU rendering works today, here's a really, really brief, non-technical synopsis. Basically, one card will render one frame, and the other card will render the next frame, and they trade places. And card number one can read the memory of card two to know what it's going to render, so it can take an educated guess on what frame three needs to be. So I finish frame one, you start working on frame two, I'm going to look at your memory, see what your results should be, and then I'm going to start encoding frame three while you're still working on frame two. That's how it works in theory. And that's how Crossfire works as well. NVLink gives full access, read-write access to the memory across that NVLink bridge. So instead of being able to just see the memory, you can write the memory, which also gives you full access to the memory, which means that if I have a 1088 gig card and a 1088 gig card, I don't have a 1088 gig card in SLI anymore. I have a 1080 16 gig card that's seen as a single card by my operating system. And that's where NVLink is exciting. Because it could finally do away with the onus being on the developers and software team and everyone else and optimization guys to code SLI support for the lucky 5% of people who run SLI, and actually be a ubiquitous platform where it goes, oh, you want to double your power? Throw one more card in your box. And it would be a linear doubling of your performance, or near linear. You'd get like 90% performance, because your operating system and your game would see both of your 2080 Ti's as a single 2080 Ti with 22 gigabytes of GDDR6. Who doesn't want that? However, NVIDIA has said that NVIDIA is bringing a new form of multi-GPU to the market called NVLink. It's an interface many times the bandwidth of old school SLI connection. But here's the problem. It's going to rely on SLI backbone technology to run. So they're still putting the onus on software developers to encode for multi-GPUs or to write their software for multi-GPU. You still have to have essentially an SLI profile. They're still going to take turns rendering frames. There's just more bandwidth between the cards. That's the only thing that this is going to bring. This is SLI over NVLink bus is how I'm understanding the couple of papers that I've read on it. And that is more than I'm upset about the price point and more than I'm upset about the performance not being exactly where I expected it to be or where I hoped it would be. It's right where I expected it to be. Where I hoped it would be is I'm upset that they're just kind of kicking this off to the back burner.
Yep.
Because they don't want to encroach on their Quadro cards on the Quadro card market. Because the Quadro cards can do NVLink, and you can buy some P6000s, and you can NVLink them together and get what's essentially two 1080 GTX cards with 48 gigabytes of GDDR5X, and go to town with them, and have perfect scaling across whatever rasterization or rendering platform you're using. They don't want people buying two 2080 Ti's and putting them into a server and saying, oh, we're just going to offload all of our rendering to two consumer level cards because those are a lot cheaper.
Go figure.
Yeah. So
I could have told you about I could have told you this was going to happen.
I know. When you see those NVLink fingers, though, you really hold out hope that they've done the right thing. And again, I think this boils down to competition within the market. If AMD had something, because AMD is also using XGMI in their next graphics cards, which is a perfect scaling system, much like NVLink is, where it's complete shared memory and complete processor cycle sharing. In fact, we know that's coming out for Vega 20 because it's been in the Linux drivers that have been dropping as of late. The cards aren't released, but the drivers have been being added to the Linux stack, and those have references to XGMI. One can infer that Vega 20 is going to have XGMI support. If AMD had a relevant competitor today, and they had a doubling solution, NVIDIA would release NVLink for consumer cards. They just would. They flat out would just drop it. But they don't, so they're not going to let you do it. And this is the same thing that people are ticked off with Apple about right now. They're ticked off with Apple. I believe it was Unbox Therapy had a video today where he goes, "This is the latest iPhone. It's an iPhone 4. Oh wait, no, but it has a lot to do with the iPhone XR because the XR has the same pixel density as this phone that was released 8 years ago. But the XR costs 3 times as much. So what the crap?" That was his point of that video. Was Apple is using inferior hardware at the same price point to create an artificial barrier to make you buy the more expensive product because they have a dominance in the marketplace because they have a fan base that will buy it. NVIDIA is doing the same thing in their graphics card market. They're saying, well, we own 85% of the consumer space and 99% of the pro space. Why would we unlock this technology that might encroach on some of our $5,000 graphics card sales? That's what it is. And it's crap. DirectX 12 saving the day? No. DirectX 12 won't entirely save the day because your memory is still not shared across your GPUs entirely. It scales better, but it still puts the onus on the developer to include multi-GPU support. So,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, again, now I know you don't do a lot of high-end gaming builds.
No.
But let's say you had the option to SLI your GTX 580
Yeah.
instead of buying a brand new graphics card and get a little bit more life out of it.
Sure.
Would that sound feasible to you? Go, hey, let me get on eBay and let me buy a $30 GTX 580 and drop it into my system. Maybe upgrade my power supply at the same time because it's Fermi and it's runs at the temperature of the surface of the sun.
I'd have to update multiple things.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, theoretically, I'd be all on board. Sure.
Mm-hmm. So now I'm going to tell you, you can't do that because NVIDIA giving you the middle finger.
Go figure.
Yeah.
I've never trusted a big multi-billion-dollar company in my life. Why would I start now?
So, yeah. And NVIDIA is full of disappointing news today. It's and as a consumer, as someone who wanted to buy these cards, I still may end up buying an RTX 2070 for the rendering upgrade that it got with NVNC.
Yeah.
Because that was really cool. The encoding capabilities of the card and the workflow upgrade for video rendering, I think was worth it alone. But when I'm looking at it from like a gaming perspective, as a consumer of gaming cards, they are making all of the wrong decisions and pushing all the wrong hype.
Yep.
They're trying to hype up a technology that really, sure, they put tensor cores and RT cores and developed a new benchmark protocol called RTX Ops into gaming cards. But until you can do it in software, it's all for show. And until you get it at a playable level, it's all for show. And until you're willing to support your market at the level that you're capable of supporting your market, there's going to be another player that comes in and usurps you.
Yeah.
Look at Intel right now. Intel took advantage of their marketplace for the better part of 5 years. That they had the CPU market by the balls for 10 years. But the last 5 years of their life, they just kind of rested and said, oh, we'll just kind of kick this one out. Oh, we'll drop from 18 to 14 nanometer. Oh, we'll drop from 14 to 10. Oh, wait, that's not working. Crap. Okay, well, we'll try again next year. Oh, crap, that's not working. Oh, crap, what's this Ryzen thing? Oh, we'll just drop it this year. Oh, crap, that's not working. What's this Ryzen 2 thing? That's Intel right now. They're absolutely floundering because they have nothing in the pipeline to compete with the upcoming Ryzen chips, and Ryzen's going to pass them next year. And if NVIDIA continues on this road, NVIDIA had a larger lead over AMD than Intel did over AMD. But if NVIDIA continues on this path, then they're going to create these artificial barriers just to get you to buy the more expensive things. Someone's going to come up from behind them and bite them.
Yeah.
And I fully expect that to happen.
You know how I think NVIDIA can fix a lot of their PR problems? So they pick up the phone, and they call Craft Computing, and they go, help us out.
Yeah.
And then we go, yo, write us a check. And they go, you name the figure.
That's right.
We name a really high figure
That's right.
that they accept.
That's right.
And then we help them out.
That's right.
We know you're watching NVIDIA.
NVIDIA, you open that checkbook, I'll be an NVIDIA shill.
Trust me. The way that they've been trying
I will never shill.
Right.
Never shill. Never shill.
The way, though, that they've been trying to control the narrative, you know that they got to have somebody watching all the streams, all the videos on YouTube.
And they do. Yep. Which is why I didn't tag them on Twitter today.
I'm unafraid to call them out. Oh, I tagged them on Twitter.
No, did you?
Should I not have done that? I really did. Was that a bad mistake?
No.
Okay.
You can always tell if I'm going to say something good or bad about a company, because if I'm going to say something good about them, I will tag them in my Twitter post. If I'm going to say something bad about them, I'll just say their name and I won't put the little @ before them.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, sorry, I forgot to tag you in that post that I was overly critical of you.
Yeah, my bad. I definitely tagged him in it because I want them to know.
Yep.
Here's the thing, man. You don't get to screw around, and play games and try to control the narrative and not have people talk crap about you. Mm-hmm. You've got the power to make this your golden ticket.
That's right.
All you got to do is brand it different. You got to freaking control the narrative a little differently. You don't need to have this vice grip on it. You need to let it have a life of its own. But, their presentation guys telling some people they could say what the game is, telling some people they can't say what the game is.
Yeah. It was quite obvious that we were pressed when we walked in. We had a full shoulder rig camera with us. Yeah. We had Our badges said media. We were media there under Craft Computing, and we walked in and they sat us down and they gave us the same presentation they gave everyone else, and we went and sat down and played the game, and they said, all right, thanks so much for coming, and they showed us the door.
And should I not talk any major more crap?
While we're on a roll.
Look, I've seen high schoolers give better presentations than that.
It was a pretty bad presentation.
And don't get me wrong, the guy seemed very nice.
He was very nice, but it was overly scripted. Any questions were met with no comment or very vague answers.
And most of the time, you couldn't quite understand what he was saying. He was like slurring his words or just mumbling a little bit.
Well, it was Sunday, so it was...
Yeah, but
he might have been on the weekend a little bit.
They set the day. You know what I mean? They could have put that any day they wanted. Mm-hmm. Why'd they choose Sunday?
Yeah.
Did they do all weekend?
Yeah, they did all weekend.
Oh, I'm an idiot.
Yep.
Why didn't you stop me when I was talking mad shit there? You're like, whatever, yeah.
Whatever. Actually, Rhett.
I guess I just forgot that we booked this Sunday.
Someone's complaining that our straws are slowing the rate of consumption.
Are they?
Actually, it's the amount of ginger. That was good. It was good, but you can't drink it too quick. In my mind. All right. So, let's see.
Woohoo! Woohoo!
I told you it's a lot of ginger.
It burns a little bit.
Yeah. that ginger and mint combo right at the end.
Yeah.
That's got some heat behind it.
That's potent.
Yeah. All right. I think we're going to make another cocktail.
Yeah, absolutely.
In kind of some rare form here.
Yeah. Make mine special.
That's right.
Extra special.
Extra special.
So, Spider-Man, pretty good game.
That's how you guys do it. Got any big parties you're heading to?
Yeah. I got this guy, he knows some peeps. You can come over, whatever you want. Tons of beers there. Tons of beers.
That's
right. For all you kiddies out there.
What are you doing?
I don't know.
All right. Oh, you know what? I need a shaker for this. Shoot.
You know what's great about growing your own mint?
Huh.
You always have fresh mint.
That's right. Oh, I bought this mint.
I know. I can tell.
Yeah.
That's why I brought it up. Not to disparage you too hard.
Ooh.
Well, it's a lot easier than every time you want mint to go out to the damn garden and snip some.
That's right.
Like, what a pain. And then you get some, and then somebody, like whoever's making the cocktails.
I actually have to go get my shaker. I forgot. Because it's a mojito. I have to shake this.
Absolutely.
I'll be right back.
I'll hold down the fort.
You can hold it down. You got it.
What do you guys want to talk about? Let's see. I can read some comments over here. For a while, I assumed they were ignoring Discord. Oh no. I need to entertain you guys. It's happening. I'm doing it. I'm doing it great. I'm doing such a good job, guys. But for real, Spider-Man literally has consumed my life for the last 2 weeks. It's really fun. It's addicting. It's got like all the type of gameplay elements that you'd expect in such an intoxicating game. You get to swing around, which, is fun. It's fun. Just like Spider-Man 2 was in that way. In fact, it's very similar. You can swing around, fight crimes. The storyline's really good. The voice acting's really good. The motion capture's really good. The storyline, I think I already said, is really good. All the side missions, really good. But then you get that extra little oomph because every time you play, you get points for different types of missions that you complete. You spend those to buy suits and get different powers that you can mix and match with the suits. And then you get like new tech that you like, new web slinger things that you can do. That's fun. Rhett is a dumbbutt.com. If that's not purchased by the end of the night, I'll tell you what, I'm going to buy that. Except I ain't going to do this hyphen bidness. I'm going to buy it straight up. Straight triple OG. Redasadumbbutt.com. Lots of potential there. Lots of potential. I'm out of things to talk about now. Chug that vodka. There's no vodka within arm's reach of me. We got some rum right here because we're making a mojito, John. Maybe you heard that before. You know what, John? Just, you know what? You know what?
I can't find my shaker.
It's not your show this week. Not your show this week.
I can't find my shaker.
Jeff can't find a shaker. So I'm going to have to do it for him.
How about bourbon and ginger beer? We'll mulligan it.
So I'm just going to keep shaking for him.
I said shaker, not fresh beet.
Oh, sorry. I was keeping the fresh beets to myself.
I think we're going to have to call a mulligan on the mojito. I can't find my shaker.
I'm right here.
That's right. And we'll just reuse these.
Absolutely. Thank you, sir.
Actually, we could do this. That'll work.
Sure.
That'll work.
I'll tell you what. I'm going to go ahead and go along with your impressions.
We'll just do a little bourbon and ginger beer.
Oh, man after my own heart. Make mine special.
I got your special. There you go.
Thank you, sir. Maybe I should pour the ginger beer in first. You can all tell.
All right, so this is one of my favorite bourbons. It's an Elijah Craig small batch. It's a 94 proof, and it is flippin' delicious. You can shoot it, you can drink it straight. It's great in cocktails. It's just good. It's just really good. All right, well, bourbon and ginger beer. Cheers, all. Mm-hmm.
That's not bad. I'm having a hard time deciding if I needed more bourbon or more ginger beer.
It's always the question, isn't it? All right. Hey, Skull, $5. Rhett, access the liquor cabinet and make shots before Jeff comes back.
They were trying to get me to like chug vodka and like... Oh, you know the special thing about the 10-4, did we ever mention that it had gone to space?
Yes. Oh, that's right.
I don't know if I was waiting for that to be said and I just got swept up.
That's right. No, I forgot to say that. So the 10 Forward vodka was specially brewed. It's American grains, and they actually flew these into space and then back down and then made a vodka out of it. So this vodka has been to space. That was the whole allure of it.
We don't drink anything unless it's been to space.
That's right. So actually, I kind of want to take a little sniff of that.
I will. One of these days, I'll come. I'll show up. I'll tell you what. When I can pay my bills by playing video games on Saturday instead of working, I'll be there.
That's right.
Just kidding. I'll show up one of these days.
It's the same thing with me. I got a day job still.
Yeah, unfortunately. I've got too many day jobs.
That's actually a pretty decent little vodka.
We could even play his one-trick pony games.
One-trick pony games.
Yeah, what does that mean?
Steve says it also has little bits of DeForest Kelly's ashes in it. And do hands.
Don't discriminate, Steve.
That's right.
What is the one-trick pony game?
I don't know.
They're making fun of me for spending 2% of my life playing Dota 2?
Bloodlaw Morgan, 5 pounds. Shots of Elijah Craig. You said you can shoot it. Yeah, but I got to work in the morning, man.
And I have to drive after this.
Yeah, I got to wake up at 6.
Tell you what, the day that we shoot at Craft Computing at my house, at Talking Heads at my house, I'll do as many shots as you guys want.
There you go.
I'll just black out at my own house. But unfortunately, after this, I got to drive home.
Yeah.
And, I can always explain to my wife why I smell like I've been distilling my own booze. But that's a little harder to explain to the cops.
Yeah. So we like to keep it free and loose, but legal here at Craft Computing.
Please, absolutely.
And 10 forward.
Absolute 9 forward.
Yeah, 9 forward. 9 forward, excuse me. God.
There's a picture.
That's right.
You're welcome. I'll give you guys a bunch more screen caps before the end of the night.
Okay. So, let's see. More NVIDIA news. So the 1060 and 1050 replacements are reportedly not coming until 2019. And I think I already gave the reason why I think that is. And that's because NVIDIA doesn't want to kick out any of the Pascal market that they already have. They want to keep selling Pascal cards until the Pascal cards are all dried up. And once they're dried up, they'll go, oh, look, we have new generation Turing cards. Or we're going to rebrand some 1070s and 1060s and call them 2050s and 2060s. Mm-hmm. Because that's probably what's going to happen.
Yeah, likely.
It's going to happen. That's what's going to happen. Is the 1050 and 1060 are going to go away. The 2050 is going to be the old 1060, probably the 6 gig, maybe even the 5 gig card. Might make sense for that. They just came out with. And the 2060 is going to be the old 1070.
Perfect.
That's what it's going to be. So don't get your hopes up too much. I don't think there's too much reason to not buy a Pascal card right now. Unfortunately, it's exactly what NVIDIA wanted, but what choice do you have? Because there's no competition in the market. So 2019 until budget series 2000 cards come out, and they're still not RTX compatible. This one was really funny. Xiaomi. So Xiaomi makes some smartphones and laptops and smart wearables and things like that. And I wish we had the graphics for this. In fact, I might try to add a screen real quick. Sorry, one sec. Bear with me. I'm going to say ignore the camera source. And I'm going to say we're going to do...
Skull was talking about my game devs quest games. Yo! You're right. One trick pony, one mechanic game.
Well, see, that's weird because I just threw up the tab and I can see my mouse on the screen now, but I still can't see what's behind it. So what the crap? Gosh darn it. Anyway, Xiaomi, they make laptops, smartphones, wearables, etc. They are trolling Apple right now, and they're trolling Apple pretty hard after the release of the iPhone XR, XS, and XS Max. And I'm going to keep calling it the X because that's how you spelled it.
Yep.
So Xiaomi came out with some bundle packages where you can get a phone, a wearable, so one of their smartwatches. You can get a set of wireless headphones and their MacBook competitive laptops for the same price as one of the iPhones. And they have a kit for each iPhone. There's the XR kit.
Yeah, this is great.
Which is $64.99 won, which is the same price as the XR iPhone. In which you get a Xiaomi Mi 8 SE 128GB smartphone, which is a very nice full-screen smartphone.
Yeah.
The Mi Band 3 smartwatch, the Mi Bluetooth headphones, and the Mi Notebook Air 12.5-inch with 256 gigs of solid-state storage. So you get all 4 of those devices for the same price as an iPhone XR. Got the hiccups all of a sudden. Excuse me.
I was kind of getting them earlier,
I was fighting them at the beginning of the show, and then they went away, and now they're back. Ugh. Excuse me.
This is really good, man. I just love ginger beer, though.
It is
and
good.
And then you get a good bourbon in there.
Yes.
It's so basic, but it's also so fresh.
Yep.
Crisp. It's crisp, not fresh.
Yeah, crisp. That's the right word for that. God damn it.
You gonna be all right? You need me to help
You may need to finish this show.
I can go ahead and go back to talking to Spider-Man.
That's right. Spider-Man and raided my liquor cabinet. So they also have the XS kit, which gets you the Mi MIX2S, which is their flagship phone with 8 gigabytes of RAM and 256 gigs of storage.
Yep.
A Mi Band 3, a Mi headphone, and a 13.3-inch Mi Notebook Air for 86.99 won, which is, again, the same price as the XS in China. There's also the XS Max set, which gets you the Mi 8 phone with 6 gigabytes of RAM, 128 gig storage, the Mi Band 3, the Mi Bluetooth headphones, and the MacBook Pro-esque Notebook Pro It, which is the Core i7 variant, I believe. God dang it.
It's kind of cute that their stuff is labeled like the Mi phone or
Yeah.
whatever, like the Mi Band, the Mi
Right.
phone.
It's very Nintendo-esque.
I was thinking it's just the opposite of I.
Right.
iPhone, iBand.
It's the Mi.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. Now these bundles are only going to be available in China, but hold on. John is having a coconut rum and whiskey. Okay.
ABV is ABV.
That's right.
Good.
Here's a drinking game. Take a shot every time Jeff God damn.
Oh, yeah.
Every time Jeff hiccups. You're gonna die.
I'm not playing that one.
You're gonna die. Good lord.
Oh no.
Yeah, they're counting on on Discord for me. Thank you guys. Thank you. I it's just gonna get worse. I had the hiccups when I started the show, or right before we started the show, and they went away like 2 minutes before air, and I went, yes, I beat it, I'm good to go. And now they're back.
Chris Wilburn asks, are you guys mixing beer with bourbon? Is that a common thing to do?
It's ginger beer,
Which is very different.
which is non-alcoholic. It's like a very strong ginger ale. It's a ginger root beer, essentially.
Yeah.
But it's a non-alcoholic beer. So it's carbonated. It's got a very, very strong flavor profile. It's very, very ginger root tasting. And we're mixing bourbon with it, which is actually a fairly common cocktail.
Yeah.
This is a Kentucky Mule. Technically.
Kentucky Mule, yeah.
Technically.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really good. Yeah, I one time got 2 cases of ginger beer for free, and it got to the point where I started drinking them on their own, just because they're like delicious and refreshing, and I love ginger.
Yep.
I'm married to ginger myself too, so.
So the Discord chat right now is reading 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, shit, dies, 6, 7, 8, I'm caught up, 9, damn it, Jeff. I can't help it. I'm sorry. I'm trying to stop. I really am trying to stop.
Apparently, Chris also has information that they started putting ads in their native settings app or whatever it was for this company here.
No, Xiaomi.
Yeah, which don't know if that's true, but if it is,
I haven't seen that on their Android stack. They very may well have. I wouldn't be necessarily surprised. There are some other phones that have done that. Samsung has done that in the past.
Yep.
Where they've injected ads into their own apps. Not necessarily into the root settings menu of Android. That's kind of a dick move, in my opinion. But, yeah. Might have to have you carry this conversation. Reverend thinks he's going to send me a bottle of Agua de Bolivia. Nice.
That'd be great.
I would totally try that. All right. In more serious news.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this one was announced just a couple hours ago. So about 5 or 6 days ago, British Airways announced that they had discovered a vulnerability in their payment processing system. And if you had used a credit card online... Oh, got a donation. Hold on, sorry.
Oh.
APN Films ordered a Phantix Evolve X, but I'm kind of wanting to go MATX. I have a 2080 Ti F for the Win 3 Ultra on pre-order. Don't yell at me. Is full ATX a better choice? The 2080 Ti for the Win card is a triple slot card. It kind of depends on what your motherboard is. If you're going mid ATX or micro ATX, excuse me. I like micro ATX cases, and I don't think you're going to suffer for airflow in that system. Your problem is going to be if your PCIe X16 slot is in slot 2 instead of slot 1. Because sometimes to save space on the motherboard, they'll kick that X16 slot down to slot 3. If it's in slot 3, your fans are going to be sitting on the bottom of the case with absolutely no airflow. If they're up that extra 3/4 of an inch, you're going to be fine. So it really depends on your motherboard there. So, at Craft Computing, try the Klingon cure for the hiccups. What was the Klingon cure for the hiccups? I'm drawing a blank. Nothing comes up when I Google that. You're going to have to... like all of the Google results say it's excluding the word Klingon. I'm going to say must include Klingon.
Somebody made it up.
A Cure for Hiccups by Mandy, Tom Paris's dorm.
Wrong.
I feel this is like a dirty joke. I don't want to read that online. I have no idea what the Klingon Cure for Hiccups is.
I guess we'll just have to wait till
it brought up a fanfic of Tom Paris and Belana Torres. That's all I know. And I'm going to stop right there. And no, by the way, I'm not going to yell at you for buying a 2080 Ti. I'll say you probably should have waited for benchmarks, but at the same time, it's the best damn card that's out there. So why not spend the most money on the best damn card that's out there?
Yeah.
There it is.
Apparently,
Anyway, so British Airways announced that they had a credit card hack occur on their system, where if you had made a purchase on their website and bought tickets, that your credit card data was exposed. And the way it was exposed was very, very nefarious. It was very tricky and almost undetectable. What it was someone had set up a payment website off to the side using a similar name to BritishAirways.com or BritishAir.com or whatever their website is. British Air Pay or British Air Payments or British Air Account or something like that. They had then gotten a certificate issued to them, so they were a trusted site. They then injected code into the British Airways webpage that during the series of redirects that happens when you're processing a payment, went through their website, was signed by their own certificate, and then bounced back to British Airways and said your payment is approved. But while that was happening, this nefarious website was skimming your credit card information right off the top of it.
Yeah.
Now, it was discovered today that the same thing occurred at Newegg.com. And it occurred between, I believe, it was August 14th and September 19th. So through today, if you made a purchase on Newegg within the last month, you likely need to cancel your credit card. Or report fraud on the card, or be very, very vigilant about it. Because if you made a payment, your payment went through a nefarious website with the same exact attack methodology.
Yeah. Safest bet, cancel the card, get a new one.
Exactly. Safest bet, cancel your card, get a new one. And be safe about this. Because you do not want a valid credit card information out there and going, oh, they're not going to attack me, they're going to attack you. So if they find a valid credit card, they're going to attack you.
Yep.
So be safe about it. This is a real attack. There's a link down in the video description if you need some more information about... I linked the more technical one about how they did it, but it also explains why you need to change your credit card. Why you need to...
Yeah.
Protect yourself, basically. So... I don't want to say it out loud, but I think my hiccups are gone.
Don't say it out loud.
I got through like 3 sentences in a row there.
Steve says that chugging some... I'm stuck at Klingon pronunciations. While making farting noises with your armpit is the Klingon hiccup cure.
No. Where did he say that? Alcohol shot. I was shooting my gun each time Jeff hiccuped. Now I need to patch a lot of holes.
Apparently, there may be some people upset that they can't share links about the Xiaomi ads.
Links are automatically blocked. If you share a link, you can leave a link down in the comments. That still goes through an approval process. Anytime you leave a link down in the comments, I have to approve it. But if you leave a link down to the Xiaomi injecting there in the comments, not in the chat, I will see it. I still read every comment. So, Klingon cure for hiccups is pain sticks.
Oh. Oh, geez, that would do it. Please don't.
That would do it.
We're not drinking Pilsners, but good try. We're drinking bourbon.
Not drinking Pilsners. They're in a Pilsner glass. I mean, that's my bad.
They look dope in these. Are you kidding me? I wish all Kentucky Mules were served this way.
It's a delightful way to drink it. It really is. Cool new studio? Darn right, cool new studio. Heck yeah, cool new studio. We've got color changing lights. We've got...
Oh, yeah.
Now we're all blue. So.
That we are.
Yep.
I can't comment.
Well, I should be able to. I don't know.
Maybe you've been banned before.
Light beer. Pilsners? No.
That's what I just pointed that one out. They're like...
You only said Pilsner's light beer. No.
Okay, sorry.
What's funny is... So when I was at QuakeCon 2018, I sat down and we had a beer at the resort that we were staying at, and I believe I ordered a Kolsch or something like that, and they came out and they brought me the lightest lager they had. Now it wasn't a domestic, but it was freaking like totally bleach blonde color. And they set that down and I took a drink and I went, that's not a Kolsch. What the hell is that? And I'm looking at it and they're like, oh, do you want me to like say something? Like, I could totally say something. I'm like, no, it's fine. I'll drink it. It's a beer. I don't care. And I said, and it's like, it's a fine tasting beer. It's just not what I thought I was going to get. And so they're trying to make a big deal about it to the waitress. And I'm like, no, it's fine. And waitress comes by and he goes, oh, and he got the wrong... I said, no, it's fine. I'll drink this. Just bring me a Kolsch when you're done.
Yeah.
Because I wanted a Kolsch with my burger. And she goes, oh, okay, cool. And they went away. And one of the guys leaned over next to me and goes, I need to get a picture of this because I think that's the lightest beer I've ever seen you drink.
We gotta get some
and I said, don't you dare. I have a reputation to uphold.
We gotta get some more Rainier in you, Jeff.
No.
I mean, that's not a light beer, but...
It's a light beer. It's a light beer.
You know, I got complimented the other day. I was out playing a gig, playing my guitar, and the bartender comes up to me and she goes, what are you drinking? I say, oh, just grab me a Rainier. Mm-hmm. And one of the dudes watching literally, he looks at me and goes, Rainier? And he goes, I've been watching you a couple weeks, and that has got to be the most badass move I've seen you make in here. And he's some old dude, you know? And he's like, Miss, bartender, can you grab me a Rainier too? I'll pay for his. I was like, oh yeah,
snap!
It finally paid off. But that made me laugh thinking about. And I literally went up and told him about how we'd gone to PAX and everybody was giving me shit about drinking the Rainiers. And
as you deserve, being where we were in Seattle.
Hey, I don't mind getting shit for drinking Rainiers, but what I don't want to happen is for anybody to see me drinking Rainier and think that I don't enjoy a good craft beer.
Right.
Because that is not the truth.
Right.
Nothing
that is very true.
Further from the truth.
That is very true. You do appreciate a good craft beer, and I appreciate that about you.
Thank you, Jeff. I appreciate that about you as well. I appreciate that you appreciate that about me.
That's right. I appreciate the... No, I'm stopping it there.
Hey.
$2 recommendation on a micro ATX case and Mobo. Boy, the Corsair carbides, the 540 Airs were really, really good as far as airflow goes. And if you're not looking at water cooling, which I'm assuming if you're buying one of the For the Wind cards, you're looking at a beefy air cooling system. Those carbides are really, really sweet cases. The Crystal 280X, which is the new revision of that case, is an all-tempered glass version, and the airflow is a little bit more restricted, but it's still a decent amount of airflow if you get some good quality fans on it. So, and the cable management is very, very easy on that one, unless you watch the Verge video. That's the case he used, was the Crystal 280X, and it was terrible. But no, the Crystal 280X is a pretty great micro ATX system that you can fit a lot of components into and make it look premium with very, very little effort and cable management. Like I said, make sure you use some good quality fans. Get some Poop Brown Noctuas or something like that. Get some EK Vardars. Get some good high pressure fans that are going to suck air in from the outside, and you'll get a good system out of that.
Perfect. You have a good night there, Bloodlaw Morgan. Appreciate you. Oh, Chris is now donating.
Woo!
After I told him
right.
that he might be banned.
I don't think he's banned.
He's not. He says he's new. And then Mr. On Demand was reminding people to give the thumbs up, subscribe.
That's right.
Chris Wilborn said that he already did, and now he's donating $2. Man's putting his money where his mouth is. Cheers, Chris. You're always welcome
Chris,
over here.
my friend, thank you very much.
Live Wednesday nights, 8 p.m. Pacific.
Yep.
Thanks, man. We'll try and figure out what's going on with these comments after the stream. I'm not sure, but...
I don't know if you're allowed to comment during the live stream, but I'll have to look into that.
Could be.
It could be.
For $1, though, you could become a patron, of Craft Computing.
I just want to point out it's never me that's pimping this during the show. It's always the co-host.
I think it's cool.
It is very cool.
And we have one of the coolest patron groups ever on Discord over here.
Our patron group is amazing. It requires zero moderation, which I'm so eternally thankful for. And it's just a great group of people. Really, really good community that's forming over there. So
some seriously awesome communities brewing over there.
Minimum $1 a month, and if you feel like donating more, you can donate more. So and every little bit of it's appreciated, and everything goes into doing things like this, building my studio and putting it back into content for you guys. In fact, Rhett and I were talking about how to pay for CES earlier today.
We were.
So, because Rhett and I will be at CES 2019.
I definitely don't want to give Chris the idea that he can just donate $2 and then get ham-fisted with this Patreon business. I don't want to tell you that your $2 wasn't enough. That was amazing, Chris. Thank you. But we do have that cool patron group over there, and for $1 gets you into the Discord, early access to some of the videos, not all of them, but as well some other special goodies. Do we got any of those sweet keychains left, or are those all gone now? They're all gone. That happened. We had some sweet keychain bottle openers, and if you were a patron earlier, you got a bunch of those. Not a bunch, you got one. But
I'm trying to get those shipped out this week. If you're watching and you're on Patreon, you probably haven't updated your mailing address, because I think only 14 of the 54 that I'm supposed to mail out have updated mailing addresses. So I've got a whole crap ton of keychains, and I can't give them away, literally.
Yeah.
So
update your shipping address. We'll get those out to you guys soon. If there's any left, you might luck out if you sign up for Patreon and become a patron to Craft Computing tonight. But anyway, no, seriously, thank you all for your donations tonight. It's been really great.
At Craft Computing, please do a dab and say yeet. No.
That's not going to happen on live. You can come to CraftCon, and maybe. Does that have to be a thing now?
CraftCon.
Did we just invent CraftCon?
Well, it's just any beer fest that I'm at.
Let's see. Let's see, Google domains.
So Algorithm Nation, it says it's going to be at CES, and if we make it, come see him at the Samsung booth. We're doing CES a little bit different. If you're a YouTuber, you have to have 1 million subscribers. However, if you have a publication, you only have to have 1,000 unique views per month. It's really, really stupid rules. So I don't qualify this year, and I'm not going to qualify next year, and I probably won't qualify the year after that. Unless I have some kind of sponsorship and can get in under someone else's wing. So we're going to go to CES, but we're going to be scheduling a lot of meetings in private suites with a lot of hardware vendors, where we're going to Caesar's Palace to meet with MSI, or we're going to this place to meet with Asus, or we're going to this place to meet with NVIDIA. So we're going to CES, but on a more slightly unofficial basis. Wow, I hate that color on this.
That's amazing.
Can't read that.
It's gold.
That's
read
right.
it on the other one. It's right next to it.
It is right next to it. Shut up.
We've got too much technology at our fingertips.
Heavy Palms, $2 for CES may pay for the Spirit flight.
It may.
It may.
Thank you for your help.
I think it's going to be Tree Fitty.
It might be Tree Fitty. Might be Tree Fitty. Look, but we are going to take that $2. We're going to put it right into the old bank wallet right there. We're going to take it down. We're going to say, "Sir, Spirit flight on Heavy Palms."
We also got 100 Swedish krona.
Whoa.
That's right. Have you guys ever tried Swedish beer? If you haven't, don't feel bad. We have some. We don't have any really good ones, but drink some German. Love and Brow represent. We have had a number of German beers on this show, actually.
You can't have a name like Weisenfels and not drink German beer.
That's right.
Like, honestly,
the name I was born with is Pfizer, and so yeah.
What, like the pharmaceutical company?
Pfizer. Yeah.
I was gonna say, are you heir to a fortune? What are we doing here?
I don't have the PH. I don't have the PH to my name. I really should claim that, though.
You really should.
That's right.
You really should. Well, hey, thanks so much, guys, for the donations. We're gonna try and get our hands on some Swedish beer now. Hey, maybe you could hook us up. That'd be cool. Yep. We got a PO box.
Yeah, Krona's just $0.1. I figured it was that, but
whatever.
Yeah, I figured if you're donating 100 of anything, it's probably worth $10 to me. but seriously, thank you for the donation. We sincerely appreciate it.
We really do.
Yeah,
we really do.
Okay.
When you guys come to CraftCon, we're going to do those dabs. Say yeet.
No, we're not. Brett will.
Craft Computing isn't. CraftCon isn't even right. I tried to find the domain. It's already sold.
What the hell?
I know.
Apparently, I'm bigger than I thought I am. They're buying the domains out from under me.
Right from under you.
Anyway, if you bought something from Newegg in the last month, change your credit card. Contact your bank.
Be safe, y'all.
Be safe. I don't know how we got from there to where we landed, but
we found a way.
We found a way.
Life finds
a way. As another famous Jeff would say.
Have you seen Ragnarok? Wasn't he amazing in that movie?
I did.
So good.
My favorite quote from Jeff Goldblum was, he goes, "People walk up to me all the time and they ask, is it Goldblum or Goldblum? And I tell them all the same thing. How dare you speak to me?" Just a fantastic quote.
He's so funny.
He is. All right. I wish I could show you this picture, but unfortunately I can't.
You guys can Google it, though.
Yeah. So, actually, I'm going to try refreshing it one more time. Because the laptop thinks it's there.
The laptop.
No, still no.
Are we down? We're down.
No, we're not down.
We're gone.
I only cycled the HDMI. I didn't cycle the card itself. So, still can't show you guys this.
I'm really sorry. But I tell you guys what. You go up onto that old Google search engine. Have you heard of that one?
I've heard of that one. Or even better yet, if you're watching this video, there's a link down in the video description directly to the site in question.
That's even better. Don't type anything into the search bar.
Actually, Rhett. Because your wife loves it when I say that.
She does. She absolutely does.
So I met up with Rhett for drinks one night and had a conversation with his wife while Rhett was changing his shirt 7 times.
It was 3. 3 times.
Should I wear this? Oh, it's too formal for where we're going. No, but we're going to the club later on. So
the shirt was twice.
And the pants were twice.
The pants were twice.
Pants were twice as well. So I'm talking to his wife, and she goes, "I watch the show all the time, and it's not because I understand it. It's because I love it when you correct him. Because he'll say something, and he sounds so authoritative, and like he knows what he's talking about. And you'll go, actually, Rhett."
No, I'm the type of... Sometimes I just got to be told I'm wrong.
That's right.
Because I will not stop talking. This is the podcaster's curse. Or blessing, whichever way you want to look at it. But...
It's a blessing on this show because it fills dead air.
I've just got muscles, and they don't stop. And it's especially noticeable when I'm talking about, like, social issues and things that, like, I'm not super qualified to talk about.
Yep.
And then people are
your train of thought will go somewhere, and you're like, well, I gotta land it.
Yeah, somewhere. Land it anywhere. I'm looking around. Oh, God, yeah. It can get bad. But, you know, just practicing to say the right things more often. So.
That's right.
And I can't get those extra XP points if somebody doesn't correct me when I'm wrong. So,
Chris Wilburn, $1. Thank you, sir.
Chris again.
Chris,
He liked me talking about. Oh, is he trying to get on that Patron? He's like, here's your $1.
Here's your $1. Let me onto that chat thing I hear about. All right. So again, I can't show you this because apparently my capture card isn't working. I moved every computer and network connection imaginable over the week.
But you just go right down here.
And I painted the room, and I put new lights in, and this whole wall is on a brand new circuit in my house. Yeah, we went all out when doing this thing.
Yeah. It shows.
Sorry, I can't show you the picture.
I really like the idea of projecting into the mirror.
Yeah, well, that's a pull-down screen.
Well, I see the pull-down screen now, but when I was making my joke, I didn't.
That's right. So I have a projector set up here, and I have a 100-inch electric screen over on that end of the room. So there may or may not be an Artemis live stream coming where we pilot a spaceship.
Yes!
Where we set up the office to look like the bridge of the Enterprise.
Wouldn't that be so amazing?
And we rock this thing.
When is that going to happen? This weekend?
Maybe.
I was just joking. Okay.
Whenever. The office is open now, so, we could totally do it.
9 forward.
Rhett, you're wrong. We need one of those you're wrong buttons just for Rhett, like one of those Staples Easy buttons.
That'd be really helpful.
Actually, Rhett.
People could use those. Or it could just be like a little shock collar, like every time I got
So the 2080 Ti is a phenomenal...
It's okay. NVIDIA is a great... Wow, my rep.
AMD Ryzen 2 is going to... Oh, sorry, I hit the button. Sorry. No, you were good. Keep going.
I'm just used to you saying dumb crap.
That's right. No, you were good. Keep that one going. So, again, I can't show you this picture, but do you remember the Amiga? The Commodore series, or the Amiga series of Commodore computers?
Here's the thing. I don't remember the Amiga.
You've heard of them.
I've seen them.
Yeah.
Like, I've heard of them. But
I think my grandfather had one when he settled back west. You're not that far off. So Amiga is some of the original creators of the Amiga case now have a Kickstarter. And what they're doing is they're building an Amiga-inspired micro ATX case so you can have an Amiga desktop PC with modern components inside. And I think that's awesome.
I think it's great.
Go check the link down to Hackaday down in the video description because it's got the picture up there, and there's also a link to the Kickstarter from that page. They've already raised $50,000 out of their $100,000 asking. I mean, it's like...
Why not?
$56,000. So, out of their $101,000 goal. So, yeah, they're serious about doing this, and I believe they modeled 4 different versions of the Amiga, and they have some with CD-ROM drives and some without, some with slot load, some with tray load. All of them have floppy disk drives.
Yes.
If you want to put floppy drive in there.
Bringing the flop back.
The other thing that they're doing is they're allowing you to basically rebuild an Amiga with a modern case and with modern speed, and so. You can still plug in a CRT to this thing. The Checkmate A1500 case is the one that they're coming out with expansion capabilities. And it's designed to plug into the Amiga 500, transforming it into a desktop system with extra floppies and a hard drive and an expansion port. So actually upgrading the original Amiga...
That's ridiculous.
...to some more modern specs. So that is pretty cool. If I do say so myself.
I'd say so.
So when I was in high school and I did marching band, my band director had a marching band choreography program that was written for the Amiga that he wrote on an 8 megahertz processor. And all of our marching formations were written on that Amiga. That's how we did all that. No. So, and by the way, we gave him crap when I was in high school for having an Amiga still. So...
He was an enthusiast.
It was a long time ago. Well, crap, look what I found on Amazon. What did you find on Amazon? A custom easy button to record any message.
Yeah! It's got to just be like, well, actually...
Yeah. Actually, Rhett. That's awesome.
That's really awesome. You found that? Oh, nice.
Count over on the Discord. Or no, Roman on Discord.
Roman.
That is awesome. I think it'd be cool to put an HTPC inside of an OG Xbox enclosure. Actually, I have an original Xbox specifically for that purpose.
Really?
And in fact, what I'd like to do is I'd like to see how far XSPC has come on the original Xbox. Because XSPC was Xbox Media Center.
Yeah.
Or XBMC, excuse me. XSPC. I don't know what that is. XSPC is a water cooling company. That's where I got that from.
XBC.
XBMC, Xbox Media Center.
Triple X Media Center.
Yeah. Sure. Actually, Rhett. Yeah, so I do have an original Xbox kicking around here somewhere. It still works, so I don't want to do anything with it. In fact, I have the original Steel Battalion controllers. I've got the full layout and the game still, so maybe I'll live stream Steel Battalion one of these days.
That would be legit.
Yeah. Try to get through level 6.
Yeah, good luck.
Because, by the way, there's only 6 levels in that game. Don't know what that was.
Ghosts, dude. I think you got ghosts in your house.
I probably do.
Have you ever thought that?
Earlier,
man, your door swung open, and I'm pretty sure I saw the handle literally move, yet nobody came in.
That door does have a mind of its own.
It freaked me out.
So this room in my house is very different. So this is the bonus room in my house. It's like I said, it's about 370 square feet. Decent sized room. It's all hardwood floors. When we bought the house, the house was built in 98. And the fixtures hadn't been updated since. So I had like a brass chandelier hanging from the ceiling. And you see these 2 holes in my wall up here. Those were brass wall sconces with the frosted glass and
stuff. Of course.
Like the little trident style.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, this house was totally late 90s, reminiscent of the late 80s. So we tore all those out as soon as we moved in. And when I decided to convert it to a studio, I put some track lighting up top.
Nice.
I've got some other stuff planned for over here. But the door is actually an exterior door frame with a rubber seal on the bottom. So it's actually pretty well sound insulated from the rest of the house, which is actually perfect for a studio setting because my kids can be running up and down the stairs and I'll never hear them.
Yeah.
Which is one of my biggest hurdles to recording right now. Is like, okay, everyone's in bed. Oh crap, it's 9:30 at night. I've got to record a video and pound a beer for you people.
Don't act like that's a chore. Don't act like pounding a beer is a chore, Jeff.
It's not a chore, but there has been an occasion. It's like, I'm not necessarily enjoying that beer that night. And it's like, this is like drinking medicine. Because it's like 11:30 and I'm trying to finish this beer off. It has been that way a couple times. Not often, but it does get there. But I committed to the shtick, so I'm going to stay with the shtick.
Yeah, absolutely. Does that window needs a curtain, says JFZ. Says Jeff Keizer. Oh, these aren't curtains. These are blinds. I really preferred the outdoor matte painting that we had.
I did too. The sunset in this area is beautiful. We get some pretty amazing sunsets in my neck of the woods. I don't plan on keeping the mini blinds. I'm actually thinking about replacing them with a nice wood blind with the corded poles on them. I think that would look way better behind me. So, yep. So, and it just went live on YouTube, so I'm expecting an LOL or something out of the chat for... Actually, JFZ, I do have a blind on there. Yeah. So let's see. We got a couple notes left here. There it is. Oh shit! He actually has blinds. Sucker. Let's see. So we got 2 more notes to get to, or 3. PlayStation is taking a page out of Nintendo's playbook, and they now have the PlayStation Classic with 20 classic games coming to you. Probably only 5 that you want. because I don't believe they released a list of games that was actually coming to the PlayStation.
Yeah.
A roster of 20 games loaded up on a hard drive for you to play at your leisure. I doubt it's a hard drive. I bet it's just onboard eMMC. Only 5 have been announced. Final Fantasy VII, which I'm excited about.
Which is one of the best games ever made.
Wild Arms.
Which is a great game.
Ridge Racer Type 4.
It's okay.
Meh. Jumping Flash and Tekken 3. Tekken 3, heck yes.
Tekken 3 was okay.
Tekken 3, heck yes.
It was okay, yeah. It was pretty okay.
So, and that's an okay spread of games, as according to GQ, and I have to agree with that. Let's see. Their analysis of this is spot on with what I thought when I first heard this was coming out and saw the game list. That's an okay spread of games, but everyone interested in Final Fantasy VII has already played it twice. Most 3D racing games like Ridge Racer don't tend to age terribly well, and in fact, Ridge Racer was one of the worst racing games out when it came out.
Yeah, if you had a PlayStation 1, you could play Gran Turismo 2.
Right. Right. And Ridge Racer was the game you got free with the console, and it was then ported to every single system imaginable for the next 15 years. And so it was on Dreamcast. It was on... They ported it to PS2. They ported it to PSP. They ported it to PC. They ported it to a dozen different things in a dozen different variations, none of them any better than the first. So Ridge Racer, it's like, yeah, it's a racing game, but it's not a racing game that aged well. It's not like Porsche Unleashed, which was a racing simulator that still ages well and I could still play today.
Yeah.
It's not like Underground 2, which had some fun mechanics in it, even if it was a bit arcadey.
Underground 2 was for the PlayStation 2.
It was also for PC.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry.
Yep. I was just giving examples of racing games that did age well, that I could still go back to today and play.
Underground 2 is legitimately a great game.
It is. It's a fantastic game.
Yeah. As far as racing games, though, I mean, I don't know. I'm always so picky. And the problem is, growing up with Gran Turismo, you tend to start... Although, you know what was one of the best racing games ever? And it ties into this story a little bit, which is that the Sega Genesis Classic is delayed... But Rock and Roll Racing from Blizzard, what a great game.
Fantastic game. Rock and Roll Racing was on the SNES because it took advantage of the FX chip.
Oh, is that right?
That's right.
Interesting. Oh, well, I did play it on the Sega Genesis.
Did you?
But yeah.
I thought it was... Oh, no, that's right. I'm sorry. I'm thinking of the wrong game. I'm thinking of Crazy Racers. Crazy Racers was an FX game.
Yeah.
But no, Rock and Roll Racing was a good 16-bit racing game.
And have you been getting the marketing materials for this new Kickstarter game that's like a Rock and Roll Racing spiritual successor? Looks kind of interesting. Rock and Roll Racing, man, that game always blew my socks off. I thought I still sometimes I dust off my ROMs and I'll play some Rock and Roll Racing. I'll just blast through it. It's really easy now as an adult. As a kid, really hard.
Yeah. I'll counter with Road Rash.
Oh, I loved Road Rash. Yeah, that game was great.
Yep.
Absolutely.
So there is a spiritual successor already out called Road Redemption for Steam.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. Now, I actually bought into the beta of that one and played it for a while, and then it went live, and I've played it a couple times since it went gold.
Sure.
But it's that's a fun game.
Yeah.
Many a late night spent swearing at my friends over that.
Yeah. Yeah, and the funny thing, GQ nails it, and just because Roman said something here...
They were like, no.
Yeah.
It's like, Final Fantasy VII. Wait, I already own that on 5 different platforms. Why do I need it again?
5 times.
Right. And it's like, Tekken 3. I haven't played that in a long time, but that's because I have Tekken 7 now. Okay.
Yeah.
Why would I want to go back to Tekken 3?
Yeah.
Okay, it's got Ridge Racer. Ooh, boy. Ooh, it's got...
you
lost me.
We'll see what other games... But here's the thing. With the Classic, I mean, what? Can't you just hopefully just pop in your own...
Yep. I don't think we're going to get anything like Crash Bandicoot or Jak and Daxter or anything like that because those are already coming out in other variations.
Right.
There's the Crash Bandicoot trilogy came out for the Switch.
Right.
There's Jak and Daxter apparently is trying to be rebooted again, which I would love to see because it was a great game. In fact, Jak and Daxter was for PS2. That's right. Came out for PS2. I'm trying to think of what other games came out for PS1 that would be worth it. Parappa the Rapper? Is that one gonna age well?
No.
Right.
Game's dog crap.
So
yeah. Here's the thing. So it has a hard drive, supposedly.
it's got onboard storage.
But like...
This is GQ. Take their technical jargon with a bit of salt.
Can you just like pop in your own PlayStation 1 games and play
Nope. This is a PS Mini, and so it's this big. Doesn't take an original
again,
disc.
this is the weird thing. And me and Jeff were talking about this before. It's like, I have all of my original systems. What do I need this for? An HDMI port? Hello? I can still plug into my original CRT TV.
Right.
And remember back in the day, man, when you would use the RF adapter from the PlayStation 1, and some TVs, they didn't support it that well and it bounced. Did you ever get that?
Yep.
Anyway, that's how I prefer to play all my games now.
So Rhett, what's that on the floor over there?
Oh, there's a CRT TV, yeah.
I have a 20-inch CRT.
It looks a little bit more modern than what I'm going to be playing on.
It is. It's a 20-inch flat screen CRT.
Yeah, I got dials.
We're dialing in at 480p. None of that 384 crap.
Yeah,
or 512 interlace.
No, seriously. I got like some dials. I got to fine tune mine. But I got to get one of those digital antenna
let's see. Wild Arms is a solid RPG. I'd say
it's fine.
Legacy of Kain.
Legacy of Kain's a great game.
Great game. There was Secret of Mana was also out for PlayStation.
So here's it. Like Legacy of Kain was really good, but Soul Reaver 2 was better. Legacy of Kain Defiance was probably the best in my opinion, which was an Xbox original, I think.
Yeah.
But like back in the day, those games were revolutionary. You know, I still sometimes think about like the original demos I played on the PS1, which had this game. I can't remember.
And you got PS Magazine with game demos in the box, and so you got 25 games to play on a demo disc.
Yeah, and man, we played like religiously. We did the 2-player demo of God. It wasn't SmackDown. It was like another.
Let's see,
It was another WWF game, and the only wrestling that you could do was Steve Austin versus. What's his name? Heartbreaker. What's his name? Shawn Michaels. Anyway, so you could do Steve Austin versus Shawn Michaels.
Let's see, there's Armored Core, which I would
my
love to see.
Dude, I've got all of the like extras. Dude, I got Armored Core 1. What's it? Phantasm or whatever. What's that?
Yeah, I was trying to look up what game I was thinking of, like the mech game where you were a tank and then you were the
Armored
walker.
Core is literally, and this is the thing I was saying, because if I could plug this in, hell yeah, man, I'm just gonna plug in and play Armored Core all the time.
That's right.
Armored Core was so good, and it got really good with Armored Core 2, but then it got really bad for the rest of its life. And I have Armored Core 5 because I loved Armored Core 1 so much. Mm-hmm. In fact, this is the weird thing. It's like, in my new house, I have set up my PlayStation 1 and my N64 and like been playing some of these games. And the Armored Core games, like their control scheme, while like kind of barbaric, still holds up for the game. It's still fun, man. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but...
I just woke up. Did I miss a lot of cringe? No. What are you talking about?
No cringe.
No cringe.
But you got like Final Fantasy Tactics is a really good one. Metal Gear Solid 1 was like one of the best games ever made.
Yep. Disc 2 of Metal Gear Solid 1, where you had the 25 stealth missions. The training program.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, the VR missions.
Those missions.
Those were really good, yeah.
Yep.
Legend of Dragoon was another good JRPG.
Oh, there you go.
You had Front Mission 3, the game that took 80 hours to beat.
Yes.
Legendary mech tactics game.
Yep.
My brother was always a huge fan of, I don't know, what am I talking about here? I'm just like getting into like archaic PS1 games.
Yep. So, yeah, PS1 Mini coming out. Sega
Mega
Genesis.
Man Legends.
There you go.
What a good game.
Sega Genesis Mini delayed until 2019 because apparently they're revamping the system and or the game list. So,
yeah, I hope that turns out
which
good.
has already been kind of a Sega Genesis Mini, although they didn't market it all that well, as is Sega's MO, because they never market anything well.
Yeah.
Best Final Fantasy is 3 and is 3/6.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're right. 7 is second. I sometimes argue
7 because it was everyone's first 3D love.
Sure.
It was everyone's first time going, oh my god, I'm walking around in 3D.
Well,
Final Fantasy 3/6, because that is the best freaking story in a video game that's ever been told.
It's really well done. And I'd argue there are some competitors nowadays, but
only a few.
And the thing is that I really like, and here's my problem with 7, because it's not a story problem. I love the story. The soundtrack is better than 6 and all of the other Final Fantasy games.
Ooh, I'm going to argue soundtrack with 6 on you. Soundtrack with 6 is pretty darn good. The sound quality in 7 is better. Are you slamming on Celeste's theme?
No, it was great.
Yeah, because that's the overworld theme for 6.
I know.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah.
But there's nothing like... Dude, Final Fantasy VII opens up with the bombing run theme.
Final Fantasy VI opens up with the chimes. Boom.
It's actually an organ.
You're thinking of the title screen. I'm thinking of the
right.
intro.
Oh, I'm so sorry. You're
Dun,
right.
dun, dun,
Yeah, over there in Narsh. Yeah. That was a great...
Dun, dun, dun. Yeah. It opens with the chimes and the... Yeah.
You're so right. That is good. Look, I have no problem with the soundtrack from 6. I'm just saying that 7 is a little better. Dude.
It's a better quality score. I'd argue the music is more emotional in 6.
I don't know, man.
I think that's a good place to end it because we're not going to agree.
Fine. Yeah.
We're not going to agree.
But you know, the thing with 6, and not the soundtrack, the gameplay, the characters were actually unique and different.
Yes.
In 7, the only way that your characters got really different, obviously, was their limit breakers, and then like whatever materia that you like mastered with them.
Yep.
Like other than that, man, they're all the same. They all do the same thing, man.
Yep.
You're not memorizing like different combos, like when you're playing whatever his name is, Sabin. You're not going out there and like trying to battle monsters on the Serengeti or whatever, and like get more powers for whatever his name is.
Moog.
I always change their names. This is the problem I have with all names for JRPG characters.
Yep.
You know what another great PS1 game is? Chrono Cross, of course.
Oh, yeah.
Almost as good as Chrono Trigger.
Yep.
Anyway, we could go on about this forever and ever. But the characters in 6 were, like, actually unique.
Yeah.
And, and that wasn't Celeste's theme, by the way. That was Terra's theme.
Terra's theme, excuse me.
Yep. Celeste had a great theme, though, too.
Yes, she did.
I can't remember it off the top of my head.
Yep.
Anyway, talk about that forever.
Yep.
So we're at 10:10.
We're at 10:10. I think that's a good place to stop.
I'd say you're right.
Because if we go another 2 minutes, we're going to go another 40 minutes.
I think you're right.
Because I know us.
You're absolutely right. We haven't talked about Star Trek. We should leave it at that.
We should leave it at that. Well, we talked about Star Trek at the intro, and we didn't continue with Star Trek.
Well, we fought our baser instincts.
That's right. Because I would really love to tell you about the whole layout of 9 Forward, but I will spare you the details. Welcome to 9 Forward. And thank you so much for joining us on episode 50. This has been a good show. I've had a lot of fun. Rhett's learned some things that he didn't know before. And as always, we'll see you in the next one.
Cheers.
Cheers, guys.